Hello again, friends. Welcome to another edition of Beavertown Outdoors, out here at the now snowy, beautiful Beavertown compound. I'm John. If you're new here, thanks for checking us out. If you've been here before, welcome back. So today, I got kind of a new thing I'm going to play with. Got a deal on a very inexpensive, albeit battery-powered chainsaw. I'm going to be kind of doing a quick little overview on it and a review and tell you all about it. And we're going to do some cuts with it and see how she performs. So hope you'll stick around and check this out. So what we got here is the Bauer. This is a Harbor Freight brand, 20 volt chainsaw. It's not a huge one by any means. In fact, it's kind of a baby compared to the ones that I've got, but it's a 10-inch saw. It runs on a 20 volt battery. Doesn't have the world's most aggressive chain, but it looks in decent shape. Although I had to actually, when I got it out of the box, or it didn't even come in a box. So let me give you a little story on this. This was an open box on the open box special table at my local Harbor Freight, and they had it on sale for $52. But when I picked it up, they were doing, it was the weekend of Black Friday, and they had, as part of that, 30% off all open box and clearance items. So without the battery, I got the tool itself only for, I think it was with tax like $38. So, I mean, this is, for what I'm probably going to use this for, you can't beat that. I mean, even a Walmart brand, even this particular one is $129 usually, and I got it for $38. So I thought that was a pretty cool deal. Now, like I said, it's just a very small saw. It's 10-inch bar. Uses, looks like 1/4-inch chain. Which the book, when I downloaded it, said Bauer number 30 chain, yada yada. So I actually found, though, I actually was able to look up the specs, and Oregon makes a chain for these, makes a replacement chain. So I'll probably be picking one of those up. This one, I mean, I do have bits for my power sharpener, my Ease Do, that will do this small stuff. And I'll probably do it. For, like I said, this isn't going to take over by any means from the big saws. But what was nice, so I got the tool for $38, and of course it needed a battery. So they recommended battery for it was 5 amp hour. And so you buy the batteries, and they sell for $62, I think, is when I bought these. These were selling for the batteries. But what was neat is they have a special, and it's been going on for a while. I think it's still going on. If you buy a 5 amp hour battery, you get a free tool or a free charger. So what I ended up doing was I bought 2 batteries, which used the one free thing to get the dual deck charger. Now, this isn't the rapid charger, but it is a dual deck charger, which is cool because if I'm using this saw especially, I'm probably going to burn up both batteries and just need to charge them at the end of the day when I'm done. When I run out of batteries, I'm just going to switch to the gas stuff. But then the second battery I got also got me another free tool. So one of the things I've been needing is a regular impact gun. And this is actually pretty nice. This is, honestly, it's red, but it looks a lot like, looks like a lot like either the Milwaukee or the, might be DeWalt, but it looks a lot like the Milwaukee 20 volt, but it's brushless, just a regular 3/8 impact. It does have selectable modes, so for how much force to put on. But back to the thing that the video is mainly about is this chainsaw. So the saw doesn't have a brake. It does have a hand guard, but this isn't a brake. Okay. So, and then it's just got, it looks like a bath oiler up here. You fill this up with oil, and I'm assuming it just kind of, the chain runs through on the bottom and gets its oil. But it's pretty good. And it's actually fairly lightweight. It's not a top handle, which someday I would like to get one of those, either the Milwaukee or DeWalt, or even Ryobi makes one as a top handle version. But this is so light, you still, I mean, it's not balanced like a top handle, but you can hold it with one hand and do some work if you needed to. It's got a safety, so you got to actually depress the button here, and let's see if I can get it all in the shot here. But yeah, so she goes pretty good. So, and like I said, for the amount of money, basically in the end, I got the chainsaw, the charger, the impact, and 2 batteries, and it was less than $200 for all of it. And, if you buy DeWalt, Milwaukee, any of those, you're talking just for the saw and 1 battery, you're probably hitting 200 or more. So I think that was a pretty good deal. Obviously it's only a good deal if it actually works. So I got some, and it's cold out, so I got a nice new jug of winter Bauer oil, and we're gonna fill this up. It does have a nice little sight gauge on here, so I'm gonna get this filled up, and then we'll be back. All right, so I got it filled up, and no, I didn't do it on camera because I want 2 hands, a small opening to aim for, but I am full. Okay, and as to be expected, the saw now has a nice coating of oil, courtesy of me overflowing it. It's bad. That's the one difficult thing. Low temp oil does flow good. It flows good in low temperatures, and so it's thinner, and it's not like waiting on the molasses to come out of the jug that you do with the normal all season or summer grade. So this time of year, but we got it did. So now I think what I'm gonna do, this does have a fully charged battery. I'm gonna go out and set up. I got some small logs that are left over from all the red oak and some others that have been laying around, and I'm gonna set up the log saw and log holder, and we're gonna give this thing a go. So stay tuned. All right, so we got set up here. This is, if you haven't seen this before on my channel, I did a video on it before. This is the log holder, and this works really nice for this small stuff. Now, it's not going to replace a sawbuck or putting some up there for like these size logs, but for doing this little stuff, man, this is great. You can get it up there and it'll hold up to an 8-foot log. Tricky part is finding the balance point usually, but it's got these jaws here, they just hold it, and yeah, you can just cut away, and it works great. I don't think Logasol actually makes this anymore. This is the Logasol Smart Holder, but I do know there are other companies, I think even that Vivor and some of the others are making these, and there's actually, I've even seen some, I guess I'd say, improved versions that instead of having to select a height and, for what size log, it kind of automatically does that. There's different fingers for different size logs, so it just finds it. But this one has worked good, and so we got the saw out there. You can see I got my camera set up too. I'm gonna switch to the other camera, but we've got this set in the holder. This is a now frozen, slightly snow covered piece of red oak. Again, this is just a small little stick of red oak that we had left over. I've got a pile of that, kind of some glorified limb wood there. But we're gonna cut a few of these up with this little saw and see how she does. Well, I did all right with that little stuff. Let's see how she does on something a little bigger. so now, Bauer's done a great job on that. I do notice that if you push it too hard, there must be a thermal switch and it stops it. Anyway, you just give it a second and it'll start back up. She's putting oil out, which is good. So far I've done all the cutting I've done, and I've only dropped 1 bar on the battery, so that's pretty good. I can't complain really there. So now I'm gonna cut the biggest of what I've got here. This thing is right about a 10-inch log, so this is a 10-inch bar. So theoretically, should be able to cut it. Should be right at the edge of what it can cut. So let's give Bauer a go. Well, that was about 15 minutes-ish of cutting, including moving cameras around and stuff, but that's what we made with that. I think that was a good little cross-section of where this saw would want to live. You know, we got all the way up to a 10-inch piece down there. You know, some 8s, some 3s and 4s, a couple little limbs. You know, it handled it all. You know, the takeaways on it. You know, if you try to push the saw beyond what it's capable of, it's going to shut off and protect itself, which is a good thing. You know, especially you get to the end of the day, a couple of beverages, something like that. You know, everybody gets to maybe pushing their equipment just a little harder than they should. That's pretty good for an expensive saw, battery saw, to be able to have some feature to protect itself. But yeah, it cut it once. Kind of got you get used to it. It doesn't have any dogs, so there's really no dogs to dig in to really help you force things. But you know, it was it was all right. You know, for someone who doesn't cut a lot, I mean, this isn't gonna by any means replace any of my other saws. And even on these bigger things, you know, that's not gonna be the first thing I grab. You know, but if you know, if I get a branch, you know, big branch come down or a small tree come down in the driveway, you know, I got no problem just grabbing that thing and just you know, cut up real quick instead of having to set up and do fuel and oil. You know, you gotta keep oil in it, but you know, it quicker setup. Just grab that thing and go. And yeah, it does a fine job. All right, guys, so I'm back in the barn now, and so you can see we used a little bit of Bauer oil. It was full, like I said, I filled it to overflowing. You know, so it is pumping Bauer oil through there. The chain is in, if we can get to focus there, not too bad of shape. Tip's kind of knocked off that one. You know, this chain does seem to be, and I've heard that about a lot of these electric saws, that the chains are softer, so they dull easier. That's why I said there's probably an Oregon saw chain in the future for this thing. Not sure if I can show it, but see down here there is a battery gauge, and if I can, so let's see, did all that cutting, and see, only dropped down 1 bar. That's pretty special. Yeah, that's all right. You know, like I said, for something just a quick grab to cut up a branch or a small tree. Hell, that matter if you want to go cut live Christmas tree, you know, for your family this year. You know, pick one of these up, take this instead of hauling the big saw out there. Not a bad way to go. Like I said, I did a decent amount of cutting there, and the battery lasted. Oh, one thing I didn't show, chain tensioner. This does just have a little dial here that you do this. I'm actually going to go ahead and loosen up a little bit. See, that she loosens up right there, and then we got to tighten it up. You just tighten it. You don't refit. You know, and it gets it pretty snug. I'm going to leave it a little loose here. But yeah, and then just to, I did find out, because again, I had to switch the chain was on backwards. I don't know if that's a safety thing, because this was maybe a display model or what it was. So I had to flip it around the right way. But all you do is just take that nut and you just loosen it all the way off. The side cover comes off. Pop the chain off and pop a new one on there. So yeah, pretty simple. It's straightforward, easy to use. Again, $38. So I don't know. So like I said, this ain't, it's not meant to, it's not going to replace the big steel, the Dolmar, or the little steel, or any other big saw. Obviously for main cutting, that's going to be my go-tos. But yeah, for just a handy little saw to be around there. Who knows, maybe I'll use it as a trainer to train Mrs. Beavertown on how to use the chainsaw. Maybe a good training saw for her. What do you think? So guys, I don't think I got ripped off or anything by any means. You know, I think it was money well spent for as little money as it cost. And, you know, but let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Tell me if you think it was worth 38 bucks or not. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. I got some chains to sharpen Daddy-O and myself, and I'll probably take a file to this one too, just for giggles, see how she files, and go from there. So that's gonna do it, guys. If I don't put another video out before, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you have a Merry Christmas from all of us here at Beavertown Outdoors. Take care of each other, be safe, and I'm out.